Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In continuation of last week's theme, which we did Tom Corbett's Space Cadet, we're gonna go backwards even further in time in the space program with Mike Mars. Oh, sorry, there's no cover here, but Mike Mars, Astronaut. And so basically it's the story of Mike Sampson, or Mike Mars Sampson. Apparently his initials are, unironically, or I should say ironically, M-A-R-S. It's his initials. I cannot remember his two middle names, I'm sorry. But it starts with an A and the second one starts with an R. I think the second one is Anderson or something? It's mentioned only once here. Oh wait, never mind, I found it. I flipped right to it. Michael Alfred Robert Sampson. Or Sampson, yeah. Michael Alfred Robert Sampson. Mars. Quite the mouthful. But anyways. So Mars is his catch sign, basically. That's his sign, and he's always wanted to go to Mars. He's always wanted to be an astronaut. He's always wanted to go to Mars. And so he, with that goal in mind, he works for it. Apparently there's a little, flashback, a little montage of him showing him working his hardest, being, physically fit and becoming very intelligent, learning everything he can. And, learning how to control his emotions, to stay calm in a situation, so it's like, this kid's got a backstory. He's been working his whole life for this, and it's fantastic. His best friend in the space program is, where is it? Johnny Bluehawk. There we go. Yeah. Johnny Bluehawk. Let's see, what was... because he's got his own, and I like... Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Wait until I get to this part. What was it? Okay, I don't want to read the whole book again. But Johnny Bluehawk, if you couldn't tell by his last name, he's Native American. I think it was Cheyenne. That's what I was looking for, is a specific tribe. I think it was Cheyenne. Now that I was like, I want to make sure I have this information correct, even though, it hasn't been long since I finished reading this. But, that's because I missed a page. No, not there. No, I think he's Cheyenne. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Native American is Cheyenne from Montana. That's the whole description. He was from Cheyenne from Montana. But yes, so he wants to get to outer space as well, and he's doing it for his tribe. So, this is awesome. Great character. Oh my gosh, I really like his character so much. Him and Mike Mars, just best buds. I like this friendship. Like with the Tom Corbett book that I reviewed last week, it's really the characters and the friendship that really pushes this book through, except in this case there is a little bit more action because someone's trying to sabotage the astronauts' attempts of becoming astronauts. or should I say, wipe out the other astronauts so that one astronaut in particular gets to stand on the top. And I can tell you right now, it ain't Johnny and it ain't Mike who's trying to, they're in fact the ones who are there trying to wipe out because they're among the best. So, yeah. That's this main story, is, because even though you as the reader already know everything that's going on, you already get the whole backstory, you already know the antagonist, you already know who's doing what, who is behind all this. I'm not saying it right now because I want you to read this, I'm not gonna give it away, I want you to read it. I want you to find out for yourself which one of Mike's classmates is behind all this. Although, like I said, and once you read it, who it is, you're like, it's him. It's definitely him. And of course, like I said, it's like in the second chapter when it says definitely, oh yeah, it's definitely him. He's the one behind it. Or is it a third? Something like that. But you get to a certain point, you're like, it's that guy. He's the one behind it. So yeah, this book got a little bit more of the action earlier on. Again, just like with the Tom Corbett, the first book, this is pretty much a training montage. Which is where I think the Tom Corbett kind of lacks in comparison to this book is, the action that keeps it going. This one, obviously, Mike and John are fighting for their lives pretty much along with, their training, having to train for the astronaut group, and then, of course, at the end, they're like, you're having to fight for your lives and train for this, you're basically really qualified for this. So, that's that. But it definitely provides a much better page turner. If you're looking for something that you're not basically, if you're not interested in training montages, but you want to keep going for the characters, because both of them have great characters. I will say it right now, both series have great characters. Just from this first book alone, both have got great characters. You're really rooting for these guys to get through all this. Whereas in Tom Corbett, it's not so much that it's other people that's standing in their way so much as it is themselves. Whereas in the Mike Mars, it is outside forces that's, forcing Mike to have to battle this. I mean, he's still having to learn things as he goes. He's got a bit of a temper, that's for sure. I can't blame you. Get under his fellow's skin. You can only get under a fellow's skin so much before he just kind of snaps and is like, okay, I'm done with this. We're doing this. And as it with Mike, in this case, it was like, his best friend's life was on the line. No. You do not do that. So I think I can, understand or connect with him a little bit better, because I'm kind of like them. It's like, you do not mess with my friends. So, yeah, it's the characters in both series, definitely a strong point of this series, I will say, for sure. At least, like I said, this is only the first book in each that I've read so far. Characters, definitely what keeps it going. However, and in this, based on what I've seen of the second book in this series, of the My Mars series, a lot of this does seem like it's, at least the My Mars series, well, I think it was how many books in this series. Is that? I know I've got a list here. Where is it? Or maybe not. Maybe not. It's that one. But there's like several books in this series. I want to say at least maybe 10. I want to say. I think that's about right. 10 books in this series. Because I've got like I want to say 5 of them. No, 4. 5 or 4. I gotta look at them again. But because I know I got the first ones. And that probably would be a good idea, just to stick to those. Because, from what I'm reading, it mostly is, at least the first books are definitely training montages. I mean, heck, if looking at the third book, it's a test flight. And apparently, you know, there's been several attempts you know, on Mike's life and the other astronauts' lives, just so that this one astronaut can make it to the top and be the top astronaut. But if it's going to be like that, I will have to say the characters definitely are going to have to be very good and strong in order for me to keep reading, because the training montage after a while is starting, it will get old. I will say this about Tom Corbett. Apparently it looked like the first book was the training montage, and then they've had their first adventure, and then they're going to continue on. They will continue their studies, obviously, but they will definitely continue on missions after this, from what I can tell. Like I said, I only just started on the second book, so I can't exactly say for sure. Yeah, once I review that second book, you will know for sure. But Mike Mars definitely seems more like a training montage. And the actual, well, that probably could also be because he's not actually getting into outer space, I think, until the first, no, not, let me say the first book, it wasn't the first book, the third? The fourth. He doesn't even get into outer space until the fourth book. So, if you have no problem with near-death experiences, close encounters, not of the third kind, and dealing with a lot of military jargon, or at least, you know, NASA jargon, then yeah, you should be fine. If you're more like me and you're just like, I knew I was never going to be an astronaut because I don't have the brain power for that, or at least my brain isn't wired for that type of a thing, then, yeah, you might have to wait until I'm through to see, hey, characters are definitely worth it. Push through. Just see if you can push through. And of course, it also seems like it's gonna be the same villain, at least for these first 4 books. So, I guess I could just simply put it this way: Mike Mars has the main strong points that are going for both Tom Corbett and Mike Mars are the same. Basically, space, adventure in space, you know, and strong characters. I really do like the Mike Mars characters. Like I said, Mike Mars and Johnny Blue Hawk have already become my favorites. And they are the 2 leads, obviously. There's a few others that come in, but a couple of the ones that you thought might actually become a lead is like, nope, they're gone. Thankfully no one was killed, but a lot of people are, just hurt badly that they couldn't finish the program. So, trying to think. Okay, but the other strong points for Mike, it's definitely the fact that there is more thrills and it's suspense that keeps the page turning, if you will, simply because, his life and the lives of the other astronauts on the line, all because of the sake of fame and glory. Someone else wanted to be the first at everything. And we'll do whatever it takes to get there. So that definitely keeps the pages turning. Especially because, this Mike Mars is a little bit more of a realistic approach. That's the other thing. If you're looking for a more realistic approach for space travel, Mike Mars is definitely your guy. If you're looking for more fantastical, more, Star Trek, as I kept referring to in the Tom Corbett video, Tom Corbett's your man. So yeah, that's pretty much it, because like I said, if you're not interested in the training montages and, not interested in what the guys had to do to get to this point, to reach this point in the training, to become astronauts, yeah, you're gonna find yourself a little bored at times. But the characters themselves, I say, or at least I definitely think, carry on both series. The characters carry the series for this, sure. Tom doesn't get a lot of hair-raising adventures in his first book, but based on what the summaries of the rest of the books in the series, it's definitely coming. So that's yes, Tom Corbett is just a little bit more of a slow burn, and the wait is worth it. Whereas Mike Mars, you do get it early on, and then it starts to become repetitive after a while. So, yes, that's Mike Mars. I will be leaving a few links down below to a rewrite, if you will, of both Tom Corbett and Mike Mars and Linda Carlton. All three of them are coming together in this new series that I am writing. It's going to be called Sanford Secrets. This first one, though Tom and Linda are the major main characters, Mike is a secondary main, and of course the others, definitely come in because they're all supposed to be part of the team. But again, links down below. I'm rewriting basically this series, and it's also partially inspired by The Sims 4 University, the game pack, from University. The game pack that is called University. Get to University. I completely forgot what it's called now. I can't believe it. I play it a lot. But I guess it's because, it's been out for a little while now. I was like, Get to University, I think is what it's called. Get to University. So, it's inspired by that, and so it's going to and it coexists in the same world as the Robbie Hoenig story that I finished this summer, and back in August. I actually finished it back in August, yay! And it's also going to occur around the same time as another series starring Arden Blake. Again, links below. That will be also linked below. And the mysteries that she goes on. And so there's going to be overlap between the two, because I've got this set up, because again, like I said, it's inspired by The Sims 4, so there's two colleges. One is more science-based, and hard sciences, math, and the other one is more of a liberal arts college. And so Arden and her friends are going to the liberal arts college, which is called Cedar Ridge, and yeah, Cedar Ridge College, I want to say. Where's it? Yeah, Cedar Ridge University, I think the actual name. Sorry, it's still work in progress. Because I've been going back and forth between the two as well. And then the other one, the more science-based one, is Stanford University. No, sorry, backtrack. Stanford Institute is what it's called. I apologize. Because it's for Cedar Ridge, it's just called Cedar Ridge for the most part, and then they always say Stanford Institute. So yeah, that's at least the location where it's going to take place, and since the two colleges are pretty close together, the two groups will meet and, work together on a few mysteries as well. So, oh, and yes, Robbie Hoenig will meet the astronaut team as well, since, Stanford Institute is where all the marine biologists go to, and that's the marine sciences and space sciences is what Stanford is best known for, but you do have all the other sciences available as well. So, but anyways, links to those will be in the description below. First book for each, The Mystery of the Monoplane's Mission and Secrets of the Sprite Society. I'm thinking I'm going to start posting it weekly, at least for now. It all depends on how things roll, as I might do it twice a week, depending on how fast I can write this, or how much I have done, at least at this point in that once I've started it. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you check it out. I hope you enjoy it. Again, and if you want to check out any of my other stories, I am available on fanfiction.net, Wattpad, Archive and Our Own, and I have a few things published on Amazon.com. But right now I'm focusing mainly on the other three links, Wattpad especially. So definitely check me out there. And, check back for more reviews and Sims 4 builds and all that jazz. Thanks again for coming by. Hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Let's reach for the stars. And God bless.